Photographers are like plumbers. They often break more things than they fix. They use a lot of metal at work. They smell like toilet water. It doesn't mean if 5 of them came to me for help, I'd like shoo them away or something.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
Something's missing. I don't feel like a douche. Oh, thank God. Oh, that was close. Okay, we have a little test. I've been debating many purchases. First, a friend gave me a filter I've never heard of. A senescence. So right now we're on the Canon R8 85mm 1.2. No filter. Let's put on this selective essence filter. It's a pearlescent filter. 1/8. Very minimal. Did it do something nice for us? Is that blooming now? Is it still too douchey? It feels like it's too bright. I hate this shot. Oh, that is good times. For lightweight wildlife with the 70-300, should I go used XT4 or new XS20? The answer is used XS20, by the way. How come that wasn't an option in your Price is Right show? XS20 is more expensive. I could also use the dual card slots of the XT4 for some paid work occasionally. It's basically the same camera, but the XS20 has the updated processor, I think. So it should have better autofocus. I don't think it's going to be reliable. XT4, I had a lot of fun with that. You just back button focus on something and then minor tweaks. You could get by. Like, you're not gaining anything. 4K 60, HD 240, you both have it. I think the XS20 might even have worse stabilization. I don't know. It's probably on paper says it's better, but it's not good. It's the same basic thing. 2 card slots, all right. You know what's funny? I saw an XT4 the other day for 900 Canadian. I've never seen it that low. I wasn't about to like re-enter that life pattern, but like it could have been done. It's a good, you could not go wrong with either. Same basic thing. I like the grip of the XS20 more. What I've been debating, which you should have asked, is do I need a 135mm lens in my life? That's the real question. So we're done with you. I'm going to switch into APS-C mode to replicate that so I can see should I buy one. Wow. That is just way too much. I've been researching for hours, debating, because I saw a Canon 135mm Tony 2 for EF. I'm like, that's a legendary lens. Angry Photographer says it's top 20 lenses of all time. I'm like, And then I'm looking, maybe Zeiss Batis for the Sony 135. Why didn't I just try this? It's way too tight. Oh, man. Was that Canon R50 a good entry camera? It came out in 2023. That camera is basically Canon saying, here's the least we can do. We've been researching cameras for like 50 years. I don't want to release a culmination of all our expertise. This is the budgetest thing we could come up with. We removed the most things possible without you scratching your head at Best Buy thinking, is this even good enough? Is it better than my phone? It kind of is, but it's better than the Samsung. What the hell was that? The S24 Ultra? What did you add? Nothing. Where's my 960 frames that doesn't look like trash meat? Oh, we improved with AI algorithm. Everything's AI and bullshit. This world I am not meant for. Oh my God. The R50 is so crippled that the M50 called and asked for its money back. That old mount. Like, what is it? It was a replica of that. Why are you replicating like a camera that was released 4 years ago? Why aren't you improving it? It should be the next iteration. It's RF mount now and much better specs because we have better specs now. The technology has advanced. Has it? Or has it regressed? Like your hairline. Not mine. It's there. There's some hair. I have some. No, it wasn't good. For 2023? For 2020, maybe. before the pandemic thing happened. What? Who's it? Hi, Casey. Thanks for all the content you make. Fun. Can you help me? Camera for wildlife filmmaking and documentaries. Yeah, those go together. I want to do sports and macro Beatles. Non-professional Pennyboy G9 II. He's giving me the pros and cons for some reason. Sony FX30. Blackmagic 4K. Wow. Oh boy, did you not just see the series of mistakes that was? I still have a video coming on why I returned it. Wow. No is your option there. If you're debating those two, Pennyboy G9 II or the Sony FX30, you're a moron because you need an EVF for wildlife. So the Sony a6700 is now your option. Is it better? I think I would probably lean it over the Pennyboy. Penny's good. I do like the 300 frames per second instead of 240, but when you lose autofocus in that mode, I don't know. Sony color science is improving somewhat. They're getting somewhere. It's just so much more reliable, and the autofocus, it's hard to beat Sony anything, really. So like APS-C, okay. You do a little tweak, oh, magenta, shift. Learn the color wheels of your kindergarten past, and you might be able to use a Sony camera and not be thrown out of the building. Don't get me wrong, the G9 II would do you just fine, and you'd have to get probably the Leica 100 to 400. You're losing some Tonys pretty hard on that one. It's like, what, 13? Tony 13 at 800mm, if we're talking depth of field wise. It's not like magic, but it is a Leica lens, kind of. I don't know, I just lean, be done with it. Sony a6700 I think is cheaper, and little 70 to 350. You're not going to blow anybody away with your footage, but could you do a documentary with either of those? The G9 would be better stabe, handheld run and gun type of stuff, but I shoot living room documentaries, and if it was me, I'm going full frame. I don't care who you are, so Sony a7S III is the answer. A firmware coming to us any day. In fact, let's switch to Sony, just to show you it's not so bad. Hey, Son, look at you. You're doing stuff. That's not so bad. We're on the 90mm macro because I've also been debating. I saw a Voigtlander 110mm macro, 2.5, and I'm like, that might have 3D pop, and we sell this thing, and then switch it for a Voigtlander. You lose the autofocus. That might hurt. So, not bad. Sony. Like, why do I film on anything else? Every time it just looks better. It's just the colors sometimes. That's me. It's my problem. Let's imagine for a moment that you were to become a daddy and therefore didn't have any more money for toys. And you had to buy one camera to run the whole channel, and you also had to buy only one camera for your son. Which cameras would you choose? Well, as we've seen, Jay Swizzle in the house makes daddy baby making music. So that's a strong possibility.
Let's make babies. Let's make babies.
So if it's me, I've debated many times this, like the whole house burns down, you can only start over with one. It would actually excite me to, like, what would I pick? Unfortunately, it would probably just be this, the Sony a7S III. I need it. I love it. Nothing beats it. I'm still waiting for someone to beat 4K 120 and HD 240. Nobody's beaten both yet. Panasonic G9 II. That's manual focus. Your Micro Four Thirds. No, we're talking full frame with autofocus, everything. Something that lifts that up. Yes, the Nikons have beat higher resolution, 8K 60, but not HD 240. You have to do both, and you're not doing it. So a7S III comes back to me after the fire, and my kid gets a DJI Action 4. He's happy. He can smash it around. Maybe in a Sony X3000 for him. I don't know, that bulbous lens, he would smash it immediately. Oh, my kid is so irresponsible. The reality is, though, it's sad that nobody's beaten this since 2020. It's now 4 years into the making of the race to beat the Sony a7S III, and nobody's done it. If you factor everything in, just the specs, 4K 120 HD 240, but also the autofocus, the flippy screen, active stay somewhat respectable with some lenses, the wildlife 200 to 600. No animal eye detect yet, but maybe one day. Like, how do you beat this thing? The menus are good. The grip is not. But whatever, man. Sony's right up there. You couldn't beat it. Okay, for the last question, I have a different type of camera someone just sent me. It's going to be weird. Oh, boy. Okay, that's loud. That is louder than I thought. What if Panty Boy dropped a G100 Mark II, same size body, essentially a tiny G9 II? That'd be interesting, wouldn't it be? In my opinion, it's not gonna happen, is it? The G9 II is barely good enough. I mean, we're being real, right? Leave me alone. Come over here. Go that way. This way. You're making me nervous, man. So, in my opinion, it's stuck. It was at that moment that he knew that he done effed up. Oh boy, did he ever. That was bad news. It got stuck on my fan. So I don't really think that the G100 Mark II is coming. If it had IBIS, I'd be okay with it. I would respect it. I want that. A smaller body with the G9 II specs. Come on. Like, of course. Sign me up. But like, are you gonna do it? What are you doing? You can't scoot around the jacket? I'm over here. Why are you going so low? Okay, come this way. Come to me. Okay. Oh, it's hunting me. Leave me alone. Why are you so low? You're supposed to be up higher. Oh, this is the worst thing ever. Hover error. Back off me. You're supposed to stay a certain distance away from me. Okay, so basically, yes, I do want that. We're over here now, by the way. We're way over here. Way over this way. This thing should be fun. I'm gonna leave. I know I didn't help that last guy very much. I'm just trying not to die by the spy camp. So, whatever. Do you think I should buy some stuff? Let me know down below. And hopefully this video will stop. You're supposed to put your hand under and it'll stop.